And speaking of hard pants, we're going live. That's not a segue, but, you know.
More pants, I guess.
We should be live-ish.
We're alive now. Hello, lads, lasses, and NB badasses. It's been another week. Yeah, you all know the rest of it as well too. And I'm muting my microphone.
It's been another week, and Trump is still dead. Trump is still invading the United States and shutting down free
Yes,
speech.
yes. Antifa is like now a terrorist organization, so like,
Yes,
don't.
yes, that is a thing that you can do as the president. You can't do that.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, yeah, he can declare like an Antifa like terrorist organization, but like, how practical is that actually going to like work or anything like that? Because like, especially since like
There's no
Antifa,
laws backing it up. It's not like he can get
Same thing as when
terrorist
he
enhancements.
declares that it's illegal to burn the flag.
yeah, that's right. He did do like a executive order on that as well too.
You can't
Yeah.
executive order people's freedoms away.
Yeah, he's
Well, you
trying,
can
but
if
like,
the Supreme
yeah,
Court says you can.
Under
and
normal
they will.
circumstances, yeah.
uh, but like, and like, ICE is now invading Chicago as well too as all the other places, and it's just, yeah, really horrific as well too with all that.
I keep seeing people posting shit like, when this administration is done and we have the trials where we can press charges against them all. And I'm like, in what fucking like utopian world do you think that we're going to actually get to press charges against these people?
Is that possible? Yes. Is it likely?
No. The liberals will never allow it.
Even if the Republicans, because if voting goes through and because like look at what Mike Johnson did with not what's the word I want, not authorizing is the word that popped ahead, but there's another word I'm thinking of.
Not swearing in that
not certifying the vote. Okay, for the representative just came in, that changed it so that they would give one more vote, allowing
the Epstein
them to
files to
force
be
the
released.
Epstein files, and he's refusing certification.
So similar when Michigan, similar when Mitch McConnell was like refusing to hold a vote for like the Ninth Supreme Court seat or something like that. When Nancy Scalia died. Hello, Joe McCory. Hello, Mithro. Hello, Turo. Welcome on in, everyone. Yep, we're in like again. It's like so like someone like said. It's like if people are asking me how are you doing, I'm assuming that they're already like assuming that like you know what, how are you doing under the like increasing like rise of fascism all around the world. Has like how you feeling right now? It's kind of like again. I would like to say fine.
On a scale of Einstein to Anne Frank, are you fleeing yet?
Right.
No, I like to say fine, which we all know that fine stands for fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
I didn't. Now I do.
Well, that's certainly what I mean when I say fine.
It's or again like the dog meme of like the dog in the flaming house.
This is fine.
This is fine. This is fine. uh, yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah, and there's also like there's something in the news I like forgot to like put in the blurb like promoting it as well too. But like, well, there's still a genocide in Gaza as of course as well too. Supposed peace deal as well too. But like we all know how that the previous peace deals have been gone as well too. Once like Hamas says, okay, we'll agree to these terms of the peace deal and a ceasefire or something like that, it doesn't take that long for like Israel to just like negate on the peace deals, and Israel would always be posturing and say, "It's always Hamas that like refused to like do the peace deals with us." Well, so it's like
Yeah.
now it's you guys. But
It's
like
always Hamas's fault, just like it's always the fault of the colonized, not the colonizers.
Well,
yeah,
if
exactly.
only the black person had remained calm. And if that little girl had just stayed away from the fence.
Also, it's always, which I'll get into a little bit with my topic, but it's always the fault of the Democrats. Always, always, always.
I know, even when the
And
freaking
sometimes it is.
Republicans
Don't
have
get me
control of
wrong, because
everything.
there's been times that the Democrats, the Republicans, like with the last time they voted for the defense budget, okay, the NDAA. If the Democrats had not voted along with the Republicans, it wouldn't have passed. and it shouldn't have passed. But the Democrats kowtowed to the Republicans. You know, we can't be soft on crime. We can't be soft on the border. We can't do whatever.
Yeah, no, yeah,
It's
they
sort of
like,
like how the international court is only applicable to black dictators. The police are only applicable to black Americans.
that's also I just remembered that's also what just happened. The government finally shut down. It's like what should have happened in March, if you ask me. It like happened because like Chuck Schumer and the Democrats finally did not like go along to like pass just like a short-term budget bill as well too.
Oh, I have a list.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be my main topic for today. I have a
Sure
list.
thing.
Liberals on their list of people to cancel, like
Something
Charlie Kirk.
Call me a liberal
Yeah.
again, motherfucker. Call me a liberal again.
That just reminded me is just like I don't think that like anyone in this administration is going to be like put on trial once like everything like goes back to normal as well too, because
We're going to do the same thing that Gerald Ford did to Nixon.
Yeah.
In
Or
1974,
Mhm.
which was they're going to pardon. Okay, if a Democrat takes the White House, and if enough Democrats take
House
the House
and Senate
and
seats.
Senate. Okay.
Yes, but
I mean,
also
the
like
thing is,
We're gonna
Trump
do
is
the-
going to die because he's super old, and they're going to say he was the problem, not the system.
Well, and they're going to say he was the whole mastermind behind it, and he's going to die. So let's just leave him alone.
yeah.
Just like, for example, one of Trump's, speaking of which, little buddies. Oh God, I think his first name is Richard. I can't remember. Anyway, he is was a televangelist. Was high in the Trump hierarchy, and just got convicted of child porn.
Josh Duggar?
And he got sentenced for 10 years
I know that's like a which
plus
one?
6 years, 6 years, 10 years plus 6 months, for like a secondary offense or something. But all of that 10 years is a suspended sentence. So all he has to serve is 6 months in jail.
That's so much fucking bullshit.
Well,
Jesus
I mean, remember
Christ.
Jeffrey Epstein repeatedly raped people across
and you
decades
wonder,
and got house arrest.
Okay, so for the other three panelists, can you tell me, this is a rhetorical question, clearly, okay, but can you tell me how much money he had?
A lot.
What ethnicity he was?
He's white.
What religion he belonged to?
You
Christian.
said televangelist.
And what gender identity, et cetera, he was.
That's just man.
And
He
that's
would
right.
say just
millionaire
man.
dude, bro, Republican,
Yeah,
who
there you go.
donated to the Trump campaign.
You know?
But also like I just remembered something in our conversations about like is this administration going to be on trial once like the Dems get into control? No, because like I doubt that because Barack Obama could have brought up George W. Bush on his many war crimes, well too, mission
And Dick
accomplished and
Cheney
all.
and everyone else.
But like Barack Obama played politics and respectability politics essentially and said like, oh no, that would be bad for the country as it were too.
Yeah, look
but
how that worked for Bill
Like what I
Cosby.
said with Ford and Nixon. He
Exactly.
He pardoned Nixon because we're going to heal the country. I got a heel for you, and it's off the back of my 5-inch shoe, okay?
Yes, exactly. Oh, Metro,
The 5-inch
exactly.
shoe I'll give you.
They do want to protect the kids. They want to protect the kids from the wrong predators.
They
It's
want to
like
protect the kids from the non-predators.
yes. So
yeah,
yeah.
God forbid that they learn that there might be some kids with two dads.
Mhm.
We're gonna
Once
just
again,
make it okay for like these freaking pedophiles to be around these children.
This guy was not a trans woman, and it has to be a trans woman, you know, because trans men are in our porn stash.
Mhm.
Wasn't a trans woman, wasn't a drag queen, wasn't an immigrant, wasn't a liberal, wasn't a Democrat.
Mhm. Yep.
Probably not surprised.
I'm going to show you my surprise face.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I'm shocked that there's gambling going on in this establishment.
Mine is
here's your
more
witness, sir.
like, my surprise face is more like RBF. I can do it RBF pretty well.
Is And by the way, those who are like watching it is like Isaiah Taylor is currently at work. He might like drop in around like 3 his
3
time to
o'clock.
to like check in and say hi. So we'll give him floor when he does, and hopefully he does like work out his audio issue where he talks in the correct end in his phone so that like we can hear him, so like that.
Who is this?
Yeah.
I didn't catch the first part. Who is
Isaiah.
Isaiah's at
I-
work.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
He usually
Busy,
works
busy.
on Sundays, though, doesn't he?
Sometimes he does work on like Sundays. Sometimes he doesn't. It's like that. No, I don't think like hello, Marty. It's good to see you. I don't think
Marty.
Hey.
No, I think John Brockman just decided to like not turn on the light because it will blind like his screen as well too.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
This is not a professional setup.
Like I say, every time that I messed up, which is more than once, of course,
Mhm.
on my show, my cousin used to joke about me. I'm a professional.
I just want y'all to be able to see my pearly whites.
So then there are no bad acts, just bad people. If you're not bad, nothing you do is bad, and if you are bad, nothing you can do can be good.
Yep.
Mhm.
Translation:
And of course,
is not
being
white,
bad means being
not.
not white.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
So
that whole Peter Griffin thing where they've stopped him in the car and they've got the range of colors.
Yes.
This is acceptable. This is not.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and just remembered I did mention the Gaza thing as well too. Also was like happening. I think that like, it just happened this weekend that like Greta Thunberg and the other activists that were on the flotilla that was trying to like create space in the blockade to like deliver aid to like the people of Gaza, the Palestine. They got arrested as well too, and probably in like Israel's detention as well too. And it's
And
not
I
just
saw something
Here-
about Greta
here-
Thunberg saying she's been mistreated.
Right.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
here's
they
the
said
thing
that they
also- here's
beat the
thing
fuck out
also
of her.
with this.
And then
When
made her
Israel-
kiss the Israeli flag.
When Israel picked some people up in a flotilla,
Mhm.
did they pick them up outside Gaza? No. Greece.
Yep, not surprised.
Fascism.
But so apparently, Israel has control over the entire ocean now.
Now,
Well,
on the
because
plus
we're backing
side,
them up.
while the Israelis were busy arresting the flotilla people, apparently some fishermen actually got out and got some fishing done. And so a little bit of food got into Gaza.
Right.
Mhm.
No
Okay,
one
like
needs enough, but
yeah, nowhere near enough, but we gotta like take every bit that we can as well too. But like, yeah, the damn genocide's got to end, and it's just like,
What I'm saying
yeah,
is that Tyler Robinson was wasting time with Kirk and bullets, and he should have been making torpedoes and going to Israel.
What was it?
Mm.
2 million people took part in the Italian strike
Yep.
mhm,
for
Yeah.
Gaza.
and
So, I
Italy-
mean,
it's just
people in the world are actually, it's turning a little bit.
Oh
and
yeah,
Italy
significant
actually
parts of
has
Europe.
Italy actually has a fascist government right now.
mhm,
So it's surprising to me that of course the strike isn't anything that the Italian government is against, so it's okay apparently, but yeah, so
A managed democracy is great for the managers.
mhm. Yep. Exactly what you said. Yeah, no, yeah, I just like read that, and they found the Guardian article on it. It's like, yeah, Greta Thunberg like says that like she had to like force a kiss to like the Israel flag, and it's just like and also like Nelson Mandela's like a grandson is on that flotilla as well as like someone from the Mar media as well too to do reporting on that sort of thing too, and this is now that. This is what I like to like point out to like liberals if I can't haven't gotten a chance to do that. It's like that. That's direct action as well too. Now, yes, it's a great risk to like Greta Thunberg and the others on the flotilla to like do that sort of thing too. But like instead of like waiting for the politicians to like do something as well too, Greta Thunberg has tried that as she like talked a lot about like climate change. But like because like all politicians do is play language games basically. Oh yeah, we're going to like research this sort of thing. We're going to the head of a committee to like set it up and stuff like that. Okay, grant papers and blah 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 blah. And it's just
what
like
they want is they want incremental change
yeah,
for a couple of reasons. Number one,
I don't think they even want incremental change.
I think the ones that do, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and there are some, okay. For example, I've said this before, he's not. He has some. I do have some problems with him, but I would say that probably of the senators and et cetera that I know of in the U.S., he's the one I have the least problems with. Is Chris Murphy of Connecticut?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Bernie.
No, I have some problems with Bernie. But you know, even the ones that I have the least problems with, him and a few others, they generally want, they want incremental change. They don't want to appear strident. They don't want to, et cetera, et cetera. And I am so tired of, we're going to go along to get along, and we're going to either pretend to do change like Obama, or we're going to do change, but as little as possible, make it slow. Like, for example, the minimum wage in Michigan right now is, I believe, let me check here because I think
Still $7.25 federal minimum.
No. In Oklahoma, it is where one of my offspring lives. In fact, last year she left a job, only working part time. Okay, but she left a job and she was making $7.25 an hour in 2024. Excuse me. Let's see. I was like, what the hell was I looking
That's some
for?
bullshit's what that is.
Michigan's minimum wage. I think Washington State's one of the ones with the highest as well too. Seattle's definitely like $20 an hour. I wonder what King County is.
It's supposed to go up to $15 an hour in Michigan, okay, which is caca. But it's supposed to go up to $15 an hour in Michigan by 2030. Currently, it's $12.48 an hour. Which for all the boomers out there, like, I remember when I was working for $6. I remember when I was working for $3.71 an hour. Okay.
I remember when a carton of eggs didn't cost $12.50.
Right. But this whole also the prices were lower back then, et cetera, et cetera. But then what happens then is a lot of people mistakenly say, well, if you raise wages, then prices are going to go up.
Prices are going to went up anyway.
Well, guess what, Sparky? During the 8 years of Reaganism and the 4 years of Reaganism 2, George Bush, minimum wage, because I worked through it, minimum wage stayed $3.35 an hour. And inflation fucking skyrocketed.
I want to know what the prices of a Big Mac meal was in 2009, because like I just like saw like an advertisement for the Big Mac meal on like McDonald's. Was
you
like
go to the fast food, it's going to cost you $15.
But like the McDonald's.
Well, currently the Big Mac meal is $8.
Yes, that's their advertising. It is just $8 for like
a
Big
just
Mac.
For the Big Mac or for the meal?
For the meal, the fries and the drink.
I think I mentioned this the last time, but a couple of weeks ago, my neighbor and I take each other every once in a while, once or twice a month when we can afford it. We'll go to Taco Bell or McDonald's or whatever. Okay, I don't like McDonald's, but sorry, I don't like McDonald's, but my favorite fast food place are two, just as far as the food and whatever here, because not all franchises are created equal.
True.
Is Wendy's and KFC.
A lot of people
anyway,
like
we
Wendy's.
Go to Taco Bell, and I ordered 4 tacos. 2 double sets, 12 tacos each. Okay. $82.
Man, it's just like $25 for.
Excuse me, what? I said no. You'll take those off. We'll do something else.
Yeah, those are some expensive fucking tacos. That's just
that's fucking French cuisine, is what you're
yeah.
there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to remind people that during the height of the pandemic, okay, so this would have been, I was still working at Wally World. It was the year before I retired. So it's 2021. Okay. In the spring of 2021, a box of 60 eggs at Walmart was about $6 to $7. Okay, depending, because we sold 2 particular brands at that time. Okay. Then that's when the avian bird flu hit, and so there was a huge, in addition to the pandemic, there was a huge lack of eggs just because of the fact that all the flocks died. When an avian bird flu gets into a flock, 90% of the minimum die, regardless of what the farmers do. So 90 to 100%. So usually what the government would do, they would say, okay, you got to kill off the rest of them and then sterilize your stuff and whatever, and then bring a new flock in so that it doesn't hit the new flock.
Get the flock out of here.
For quite a while, they had no eggs, or very, very low. And so God forbid that, they should lower their shareholder profits a little bit. So they raised the price of eggs. So that September, that same box of 60 eggs that was $6 to $7 in March was $24. Then it went back down, started going back down when finally, because it takes 6 to 9 months for a generation, if you will, of laying hens to start laying eggs again.
Also, up like a rocket, down like a feather. Prices, always.
Right. And so it dropped down to about 10. Okay. But Bernie Sanders, to his credit, pointed out, this is a couple months before that, pointed out that Eggland's Best, which is one of the more popular brands of eggs, okay, various companies raised their egg prices. Some were 50%, some were 100%, whatever. Eggland's Best raised their prices 63%. They had no bird flu in their flocks whatsoever. It was nothing but pure price gouging. I mean, it was already price gouging to begin with, but it was even worse with Eggland's Best because they raised their prices, like I said, 63%, and had no problem with the bird flu or whatever.
Well, look at what they've just done to beef. I mean, we're not selling to China anymore. China's like, fuck you guys. We're not going to buy your beef. And so we've got a surplus of beef in the United States, and yet still the price is going up for us. Right. It doesn't make any sense. Except for price gouging.
A 1 pound roll of the frozen turkey sausage, which is pretty much usually the only thing I can afford to buy, at Wally World is $2. Sometimes they'll put it on sale for like $1.80, but it's $2, okay, for 1 pound roll. It's a minimum of $5.50 for a 1 pound roll of hamburger.
Yeah, it's
almost 3 times the price.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, aside from capitalism. That's the only sense that it makes. Like they just to raise prices. That's all they're doing.
Well, they think that, like, okay, hold on, we have the right prices because of the pandemic, and true, there was definitely a slowdown in the supply chains, and like a lot of people things was happening with the lockdowns that did cause prices to rise. But then they stayed there because the companies were like, well, since that people are already used to paying these prices, we don't have to lower the prices, and that's price gouge. That's like they've been documented like doing as well too. Prices never go down; they just only go up as well too.
Yeah, rent goes up, prices of groceries go up, prices on utilities go up, and yet
wages don't go down.
Wages are stagnant.
That's so the problems. Like I think the new people that are getting hired at like my company are starting to pay at like $23 an hour, and I'm still at like $20.95 an hour. But like, and that's because like also Seattle's like minimum wage is like $20 an hour as well too. But again, that's just like for me, I'm not like, oh my god, I'm getting paid the same amount as like Booker Freakers. No, those Booker Freakers like work a hard job. They need to like get as much money as well too. I don't see myself above like those Booker Freakers at all because I don't see myself above anyone. Mostly, actually, it's not. But so
Phoenix has a good point too. Pandemic is still going on. People are still dying every day from COVID. Yeah. People are still surviving, but having long COVID problems.
Yes.
And then so you have.
I still wear my mask everywhere I go.
You have somebody like me. Let's say I don't mask, and I walk into a store, and I pick it up from somebody else. During that time frame when I don't show any symptoms, and sometimes I just won't anyway. Okay, I can pass it on to somebody else. Now you go have other people in the society who are
immunocompromised.
Immunocompromised. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Immunocompromised, or for whatever reason, they're not able to effectively, even if they weren't immunocompromised, they may have circumstances in their life that make it difficult for them to take care of themselves in a situation like that. Maybe they're completely alone, nobody to help them, et cetera, et cetera. And this whole idea of I wish there were a day, when people believed in science. This whole idea that herd immunity is a thing. I
Yeah.
remember as a kid, people still, even at that time, people doing measles parties, giving their kids measles so that then they would then be able to resist it later in life.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember hearing about this because like it just listened to an old Behind the Bastards episode about like some anti-vaxxers as well too, and I think Andrew Wakefield as well too. And yes, this is like, hey, I bet that's a Robert F. Kennedy approved kind of like a tactic to do as well too. And I guess I can sort of
Little Brantley
understand.
got the chicken pox. Come on, everybody, let's have a pox party.
Oh, thank you. I now got shingles. No, I
I know,
actually
right?
I
Speaking of
didn't.
RFK, Mr. Sloppy Face himself, Joey and I
He's
were
throwing
talking.
screaming fits at Health and Human Services because he cares so much about the children. He's
Right.
fucking
Joey and I
wrong.
were talking yesterday or day before. I did not know, so I looked it up. Mad Magazine was always one of my favorite things as a kid. Okay, it's still going.
Yep, it still is.
They do, I think it's 2 a month, but it's still going. So I went to look at it. I was like, well, I'll look it up and we'll see if it's still going, and it is. Okay, and I love their copies. So first of all, I don't. I'm gonna say this. I don't partake of it anymore, although as much as I did before, I'll have all of this stuff. But H.P. Lovecraft, uh, paraphernalia books, whatever. Okay, because of the racism and etc. Okay.
Oh yeah.
But there's a cover that they have for the current Mad magazine that I want to get. Okay, I want to get it anyway because it shows talks a little bit about the topics in there and whatever. Okay, and my first thought was Herbert West Reanimator, which was a guy who was a scientist who believed that he could bring people back from the dead. If he just perfected his elixir. And of course, it went wrong. Because it's Lovecraft, so everybody dies.
It's a science fiction horror story, so as well.
Right,
Of course,
things man was not meant to know. Okay, I've written my own stories like that too. I wrote one called The Forever Clock.
Ooh,
So
I like that idea.
He makes this serum, whatever, okay, and it goes wrong. Well, so the cover reminded me of that. So it's a man standing there, and he's got a vial or a test tube, I think it is, green and bubbly, like a mad scientist, holding something green and glowing in a test tube. There's vapors coming off of it. There's Alfred Newman's head on there, and that's the first thing it reminded me of, but it's RFK Jr. So I definitely want to get that Mad magazine. But yeah, my Forever Clock is a story about a scientist who creates an immortality serum and what goes wrong. And to tell you why, how do I want to say this? Obviously, you can't acquire it, but why, if you have ADHD, okay, and if you happen to want to or are trying to be an author, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, okay, so I can't write full-length novels. Really hard time with that. Okay, but I can write books of short stories and compilations and stuff like I do. Is because it fills your head full of useless data. Same for autism, by the way. Okay, you have all kinds of this stuff. Okay, so when I wrote this story, it's based on stem cells and etc. Okay, I wrote this in 2008. So I wrote it for a writer's workshop, which if you've never been in a writer's workshop, just imagine a bunch of people with knives all attacking each other at the same time and taking turns, one person being the focus, okay, verbally. That's a writer's workshop, okay. It's not pleasant. But anyway, so one of the compliments that I did get from almost every single person, because we critique each other's stories, is that I must have done a lot of research on it. And so when it came my turn to respond, because you get that, okay, you have that opportunity, I said, well, first of all, I just want to let you know, I thank you for the compliment, but I didn't do any research at all. Every bit of this came out of my head. And they're like, what? And that was the first time, even before I kind of knew I was ADHD before, but that was the first time that I was like, I didn't think the words until later, the exact words, but I was like, you guys are neurotypicals, aren't you? No offense, okay. I don't want to criticize the neurotypicals, okay.
So my best friends are normies.
Yeah, my best friends are normies, exactly.
Okay, to be fair, I don't know anyone in our.
Tone it down, too.
Jordan Jones P says, Jory says, I'm getting very close to publishing my sci-fi book. You and I are gonna have to talk later.
Is I think okay for sure. Everyone in this call is neurodivergent for sure. I think everyone in the live chat is neurodivergent in some way as well too.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, Mithril
awesome.
might not be.
Mithril, you have the Mithril, the Old Englishman as well too, is the acceptable token of like the Old Englishman as well too. So like we can accept him as the like neurotypical like.
He's English, so we'll accept him as the token neurotypical.
Yes.
I was gonna have one, right?
That's normal.
I always gotta have one, right?
We can tokenize in reverse.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what happened with like the Black Panther movie, the first one, because like the only white people in the cast was like Martin Short, not Martin Short, Martin Freeman and Andy Serkis. They tokened white men in that movie.
Oh yeah, I've seen that meme. Yeah. Before we go on, Jory, I've written in. I write just about every genre you can think of, except for westerns for some reason.
Because westerns are white supremacist.
And westerns are just like
you can write them otherwise, but one, and then also
Zorro.
number two, it brings to mind country music, which is.
Oh yeah,
Anyway,
exactly.
The first Zorro novel was written by a Native American.
I've written hard science fiction,
I did not know that.
a semi-future science fiction. It's set in 2099, and then I've also written cyberpunk. So, anyway, who are we slandering now? I mean, talking about now.
I don't know. I just got like someone like message commented on my post of like going live and like referring to like ice and like ice rates and stuff like that. Katie said document everything. Also, it might sound counterintuitive, but if you think of any of these orgs are stalking you, referring to ice or like DHS and stuff like that, go with a friend or a family member to a local police station and make a full report. If that does something as well too, but at least for documenting things as well too, it can help. Get on record and emphasize how distressing it is having the stuff on record, and it will be useful later. Some of these like local police actually hate us and what the FBI has become. No, that's actually true. We know of like definitely some local police officers actually saying no, fuck this kind of noise as well too.
Well, I'm in South Carolina, so
yeah, it's like if you trust your local police like department and stuff like that, then sure. But like we know about like certain police departments as well too. But
I don't trust cops.
I
I live in a small town where there's really no reason for me not to. But those guys, no, I'm sorry. I don't trust any of them.
She like goes on. Also, see if you can get into a therapist and any doctor, and emphasize how bad this experience is for your mental health. All of the stuff is necessary for filing emotional damage-based lawsuits, which like that can actually be something that can happen as well too. And also, if you suspect a car near you is being undercover feds, ICE, etc., get pictures of the car and write down license plates. Hopefully, they're not covering the license plates because considering these cowards are masking up as well too, I can see them like covering up the license plates as well too. But speaking on that as well, especially since like some organizations, some cops like organizations actually hate ICE, and some local police departments like not all though. I guess so. ACAB. There's like still this kind of like ICE like taking neighbors off the streets as well too, and that sort of thing too, and doing these raids is
toddlers at 2 a.m. and zip
yes, yeah, exactly. It's extremely unpopular that like. In Illinois, there's a suburb of like Chicago, I think it's called Wheaton as well too. The entire neighborhood, the entire community in Wheaton came out and to like stand up against ICE and stop them from like taking people like off the streets in like Wheaton.
Good.
Yes. Hey, here's the thing about Wheaton. It's super conservative. Basically, it has a Christian college town. It's like, so it's like that shows how
evangelical school. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Lester also talked about just recently, within the last 40 hours or so, basically told Trump, no, I didn't ask for you.
Mm-hmm.
Get the hell out of my state.
Yes, exactly. That's something that like governors can definitely do as well too, because like
I know a judge stopped him from doing anything with Portland.
Yes, that's right, and he's going to like attack Portland again because like Portland's on fire. We showed a footage from 2020 Portland when those like attacks happen as well too. Not current day Portland, 2020 Portland. That's what they're using.
I was gonna
problem.
say, there's nothing going on in Portland right now. The fuck?
Yeah, I have friends in Portland. I can check in.
He just lies. That's just it. He just lies to do whatever he wants.
But even in like 2020 Portland, with all of that uprising happening in the Portland, it was just in a 3 blocks radius at the federal buildings. You could just like walk out of that area and go to like Taco Bell and just like go move on to life as if it's normal.
Okay, check
like
your
that.
privilege, Mr. Taco Bell.
Hey, if you could get like a dozen tacos for just $25 at Taco Bell, yes, which is like, who knows?
Okay, I have a other than my heavy topic, I have a non-controversial topic.
Okay. This is the internet, though.
AI.
I thought you said it was non-controversial.
I'm a member of the government. I lied.
I've got ample shades, you can see.
Okay, so my take on AI, because there's a couple different components of it. Okay, so first of all, the AI for art is just theft. That's all it is. It's just theft. Okay. And I, because someone tried explaining it to me this way, and that is supports AI. Okay, and I kind of see where they're coming from, and I almost agreed with them initially. That if I look at a Van Gogh or a Rembrandt or a Picasso, and that inspires me to paint something or do something, okay, then that's just inspiration. But the problem is that it's not a human being that's being inspired. They write the code for it, okay? And a lot of people take AI as like it's a person.
It certainly tries to act like a person.
Oh, I saw that today.
Huh?
I saw that on a friend's post today. They like literally were humanizing it, calling it by its name. Its name is Theo, and we're talking about, kept using the pronouns he, and kept talking about how they were having a conversation with him, and he was joking. And I'm like,
and it's literally just LLMs. It's literally just a series of programs of if, ands, but, ors, et cetera, to go way, way back. So you've got that. Then you have the AI for the written word. Okay? And that's plagiarism in any other, if you went to, if you were in a school up to about 10 years ago, if you were in a school and covered something, maybe like say you used a wiki article and wrote it almost word for word, but maybe changed the word or two here or there, and kept it, and a teacher looked it up, they could say, well, hey, you're plagiarizing. Okay, so that's what AI for the written word does. In its essence, it's the same for painting too, but artwork. But that's what it's plagiarism. Okay. Now, leave all that aside. Let's say we could claim that it's not plagiarism. We could claim that it's totally inspiration, whatever. Look what it does to the environment.
No, yeah, that's what was my second point with AI, because like I can even like I listen to like some arguments of how like AI art can be an accessibility tool for as well as others will too, but I don't want to like to drain an entire like swamp of resources and water just so I can have like see Jessica Rabbit with free boobs. I don't need that.
Exactly.
Ireland right now is having a problem with that, with the water usage for AI.
Yeah.
And we should be having a problem with it.
And
for some whatever reason, people are like, well, whatever.
Yeah, the dude bro said like our like pro AI and something like that. Well, have the AI create the art for them, and they'll say, "Look what I made as well too." It's kind of like I think like Cody Johnson has done.
I was very specific in my prompt about having Helen Parr making out with Violet Parr.
And I think like so Coach Johnson did some more news on the AI art and the AI, and it's just like this mentality of these tech bros and there's dude bros who probably do not have any artistic talent in this own right, which is it's fine if you can't draw, just say I can't draw, I have other talents and stuff like that, but like they want to like they they kind of like resent those people who can draw, and so they will prop up AI art and be a stand for AI art, so that like because it's like, look what I can
Well,
do, I
I
can,
think they're just making up bullshit. They just want to replace
oh yeah,
expensive people with inexpensive machines.
oh yeah, that's too as well too. It's just capitalism all the way down as well too. Um,
I don't have anything in particular against AI. I will
yeah.
say that first off.
I want to use machines to get rid of grunt
But
work so that we can make art, not the other way around.
there's so much wrong with it right now.
Yeah, the
And the way
plagiarism.
it's being used. And that's
Exactly.
my big problem with it is the way people are using it.
It can't really create anything either. If you've seen, I have not seen any of the AI like short films or commercials or the music that is generated so like that. I can see how like it basically in the making a movie or like some kind of video project like that, we can use AI for like doing the storyboards or doing something rough as well too. So let's just like throw it, like, give some prompts like
Well,
get
Hollywood loves it because it's taking stuff that's already been done and making it again.
Well, not
true.
only
That's
that, but there's been recent discussion here or whatever about an AI actress
That's
um,
right.
who is and a lot of people. Um, well, we'll just give Trump as an example. Okay, he just retweeted,
Oh my God,
or he
yes,
put it
well,
on his bullshit Truth Social, whatever it
yeah,
was.
yeah, post it.
Where
Truth.
Joe Biden was supposed to be saying a bunch of stuff in this
Mhm.
AI created thing that he did
Mhm.
not in fact, in any way, shape, or form say.
Yep.
Um,
There was like someone that like was fooled by AI art of like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez like saying these a bunch of things that she would not say, but it's like exactly what the right things that AOC would say as well too. And I think that like no, it's probably a podcaster or something like that. I forgot who, but like there's like
Well, it
oh,
can be kind of easy to get fooled by AI art.
it can be.
Like I don't catch it a lot of times. I mean, unless it's like one of those photographs of where it's got 6 fingers
Yeah.
instead of 5
If
um,
it,
it
if
or
it
is
is
whatever
something
like
really
that.
abstract, right? Then
it is getting, when I say better, I mean less detectable. It is getting better and better and better as far as, not being able to be detected from other, because I do digital art
Mhm.
and a completely different genre, but I do digital art and I could do art like that.
Mhm.
But then how would if I posted up some of my art, people would say, "Oh, that's AI." No, it's mine. I took time to look at
Mhm.
whatever. How would you be able to tell?
Yeah, exactly. Like when we Google search the things, like I did Google search something as well too. It is the AI summary or AI overview would be the first thing. I wish I could just disable that. Uh,
Yeah.
it's, it was like,
I would
oh yeah,
like to like not have any AI that's going to fucking answer me or look shit up for me. Like give me the option to just say no.
yes,
I
I
don't
want
want
them.
that.
As
Right.
because I see AI so much like how the Luddites. The Luddites were not anti-technology because they were not against the looms and
they
stuff
were
like that.
anti-starving.
Yes, they were against the looms because the looms were taking away the jobs that they were doing as well too. So it's technology and even AI to that extent is great and wonderful and automation. No, automation. And people like kept do this whole thing against automation. No, automation is great and wonderful under socialism, under communism, under capitalism. It just like it causes more people to like starve because there's no jobs because it's all done by automation as well too. Even though automation comes anyway as well too.
Yeah, if you're going to do full automation, I don't have a problem with full automation. We
So
can do full automation just as long as people are still getting food,
Hmm.
shelter,
Hmm.
utilities,
Yep.
clean water,
Hmm.
things of that nature.
to
Double
give
productivity? Fine. Just go ahead and cut hours by half without cutting pay in half.
Exactly.
Yes.
to give some small number of Democrats credit,
Hmm.
okay. Her name is Norma Torres. Okay, there's two of them. One is Norma Torres, and the other, her name is, where the heck is it? All right, where did you go, you wee bastard?
Hmm.
Anyway, Norma Torres said, U.S. Representative Norma Torres on the L.A. riots, quote unquote riots, says ICE get the fuck out of L.A.
Hmm.
Okay, and what is the other one? I hate my computer. I hate my computer. I hate my computer.
Hmm.
It was a representative from Arizona. Her name is Annalise Ortiz, okay, the president of the Arizona Senate has called for a criminal investigation into her after she posted a sighting of ICE officers on her Instagram. No, it's not fucking illegal. He says, I spoke with the U.S. Attorney for Arizona and referred this matter to his office to investigate, as it appears she may be in violation of federal law. What law? I can point and go, hey, there's cops. That's not illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no law saying that you can't point out.
Yeah, but you remember in 1984,
They could probably twist an anti-terrorism statute.
right? But one of my favorite
Making them
quotes
afraid to do their job.
1984 was that, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember the exact words, but what he did was not against the law because there weren't any laws anymore. You know, so if they don't pay any attention to the laws, then we just don't have laws anymore. We just have whatever the whims of the government officials are. Anyway, her name is Ortiz. Okay. Arizona Senate Republicans stand firmly in support of ICE. Of course you do. You stand in support of your Gestapo. So she posted on, where is it? Where is it? I hate my computer. Anyway, so she talked about ICE, and you know that someone, you know, this guy said, you know, she should be investigated, and she said, you know, this is my community, and I'm going to protect them, and I'm not fucking scared of you and Trump. And I'm not fucking scared of Trump and his masked goons. Exact words. Okay.
Yeah.
So you know, some Democrats, at least in some ways, are pushing back more than just. There have been ineffectual Democrats in the past. Okay.
Several.
Anyway, but the whole idea, I don't have one that I can do it with, but okay, so let's pretend this is a ping pong paddle. Okay.
Oh, yep.
So the Democrats, while the GOP is speaking and Trump, have these paddles that say no or release the files or whatever the fuck it was. I can't remember. Like they're at a Sotheby's auction house and that's going to somehow do something.
I remember that.
And they burned. Not Clyburn. Was it Clyburn? No, Al Green.
Yeah.
Even supported his censure.
Yeah.
For doing what he did, but yet when you got the two howler monkeys, Bobblehead and Monkey Toes Green, standing up there and screaming and hollering at the president or whatever, that's okay, you know.
Yeah.
But the question I was going to ask was, you know, what a lot of people also don't realize, the whole concentration camp in Florida isn't about putting people in concentration camps to send them to another country.
No, it's about to cause suffering.
Well, in addition to that, okay, it's about money because there are private contractors who get paid for every person that is in that facility.
I mean, there's a video. There's
Just
a video.
like California about 15 years ago got sued from a private prison company. I don't remember which company it was because they didn't have
enough people in prison.
Right.
Yeah.
Contractually obligated minimums.
Even the video game prison architect kind of like points that out as well too. When you like make prisons private and that's like are driven by the profit mode as well too, then they'll be driven to like do things that is like for their own benefit of like in profits as well too.
They brag about the recidivism rate.
Yes, especially if it's like the publicly traded like company as well too, because like any publicly traded company has a fiduciary duty to like get increasing profits like each and every quarter for their shareholders as well too. That's what my fucking company has to like do because my fucking company is owned by Goldman Sachs, not just profits each quarter, increasing profits each quarter, and it's just like. Talk to any physicist about like exponential growth in like reality. Can matter have exponentially growth? No, you cannot create and destroy matter. It just turns from one form to another. So the Earth cannot just go fatter and fatter, fatter as well too. The Earth cannot grow by 3%
The Earth
each
is
year.
not your mama.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and like as the conversation in the live chat between George and me and like Phoenix as were too is like
Phoenix.
as the like I understand that like for the many people like they struggle with math as well too. I struggle with like spelling because like my dyslexic brain as well too. But math actually came easy for me to a certain point. But most math actually. Hey, but like even if I were to have AI do the math problems for me, one thing I don't learn. Because like the thing about like math is not necessarily coming up with the correct answer as well too. Is like which is why a lot of those math teachers or like instructors will say show your work as well too because they want to see how did you get this conclusion. It's about the journey and for like here's your problem, how to solve that, and like that's why they kind of like they'll change some things as well too. They'll have new math and all the other things as well too. But the point is to try to like working out the problem to like get the solution as well too. It's a process, not the destination.
I can see that to some extent, you know, because they want to see that it's not. How do I want to phrase this? It's not necessarily that they got the right answer; it's how they arrived at that answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Right or wrong, it's how they arrived
exactly.
at that answer. But sometimes, like, I was in ITT Tech for 2 years, which is why I got a check from them about 3 or 4 years later after they got folded by the government and whatever for $300 as a rebate because they, you know, were basically a BS organization. But anyway,
Yeah.
and I got I took college algebra 1 and college algebra 2, and I got a 98% in both. And I was surprised because I hadn't been in math for like 30 years. Hadn't done any math whatsoever other than just normal, you know, balancing your checkbook or whatever. And I did have a friend of mine, she's an engineer. I did have a friend of mine mentor me as far as, you know, tutor me is the word I was looking for. But I busted my ass on it too, okay? But I had a video conversation with an instructor, which is rare for a lot of the classes because it's math. Why would you need that? But she really wanted to know. There's a thing in algebra called matrices, okay? And so I can still do it, 6-box matrices in my head, okay? But not the way they want you to do them. I can look at it to simplify it. I can look at it and go, oh yeah, the answer is 42. How did you get that? I looked at it. That's just the way my brain works. Done. Okay. We're not going to tell you how we did it. We're just going to do it. And so she and I were talking on video chat, and she asked me to do it, and I did it because, you know, she'd asked me a couple of times that, you know, if I could show my work or whatever, and I kept explaining I can't. When I did that, then she goes, okay, never mind. You know, but she was able to work with me, which is kind of nice. You know, I don't fault the instructors. A lot of the instructors for IT&T, the company itself, yes, they're assholes, but the instructors themselves, some of them were good people.
Oh yeah. Even in Trump University, kind of like it was a very old episode of like Behind the Bastards. Like there were some professors of like or teachers at Trump University that were like serious about like teaching as well too. But Trump University was just a scam from the beginning to the end because like of course it was. It's Trump as a word too, and it's just like many of those other like I forgot it. I remember seeing those commercials for ITT Tech as well too. But like and there's also those like because I'm a gamer, I read a lot of like extra. Electronic Gaming Monthly on like Game Informer. There's all those advertisements. Be a game tester in like this many months. You'll be a game designer soon. And it's just like,
right.
Yeah. Oh man. Imagine
I got an advertisement for becoming a cat sitter.
And tell them the wages.
Oh, it was $500 to $1,000 a month.
Wow.
For cat sitting. I was like, that would be a lot of fun. I could totally do that. Too bad I don't have a car.
Number one. And then number two, I'd have to live in like, you know, Richville or something, you know. Not around here. You might have some people that would be willing to pay that, but very few.
Yeah.
Sitting or whatever.
I remember hearing about certain metrics that like, oh, we can tell when the recession is coming when like the attendance at like strip clubs are going down because like or something like that. It's just like,
Yeah, you can tell a recession's on just by going up to Deadwood. The locals have no money. The
Yeah.
locals aren't playing anymore.
Right.
Yeah. I bet that's true for casinos as well too, and like the card rooms and stuff like that. It's like if people don't have money there, they don't even have money to gamble as well too. Even though like some people would like run the risk, like their, my manager used to say like that she risk her like paycheck as well too, gambling as well too, and like if she did not like win that night at the casino, so like that she would not be able to pay rent because like she didn't have enough for to pay rent because of her paycheck anyway. But it's just like, yeah, that was like risky thing she did in her youth. So like, of course.
Wow, who fucking gambles their rent? Holy shit, that's
Well,
like.
you know, look at how many poor people,
Mhm.
and I'm not criticizing poor people in this instance. First of all, because I'm poor, I've been poor all my life, and I've sort of done this a little bit. But look how many poor people rely on winning the lotto as their retirement plan.
Yeah, many people.
If I had the money to buy
I'm
a
one of those-
ticket,
I'm
that's
one of
my
the lucky
problem.
people
I
that
can't
live
afford
long
to
enough.
buy a ticket for the lottery.
I'm one of the lucky people that live long enough to get Social Security.
Yeah,
You've got to work whatever time frame that you work, okay, throughout your life, and live long enough to whatever level it is, you know, because they want to, raise it up again, and and et cetera. They want to cut it and cut benefits and this and that, whatever, and a lot of that shit's coming, okay. But a lot of people right now are like, oh well, the economy sucks, okay, yeah, but wait until late November or December of 2026. If you think it sucks now, and that doesn't, regardless of who wins the election, if you think it sucks now, wait until then, because that's when a lot of this takes effect. The cuts and stuff take effect. Speaking of the budget, I wanted to hit mine. Where the hell is my?
I'm so screwed if I lose Medicaid.
Yeah,
With all the health problems I have.
was forced to take Medicare, legally forced to take Medicare, because the way it's structured, if you make X income or lower, you don't have to pay a premium. Okay, X income or higher, you have to pay a premium. Since you don't have to pay a premium, you are required by law. I'm required by law to take it. I don't have choice. Okay. Now, so I've been going back and forth with my doctor and with the pharmacy and whatever else, and it's not completely their fault or whatever. It's just, this is where the system works, if you want to call it that. But one of my medications, Medicare won't pay for. Medicaid would, 100%, not a penny copay, but Medicare won't. Okay, but they go to Medicare first, and the way it's supposed to work is if Medicare won't pay for it, then it goes to Medicaid, and if they won't pay for it, then it goes to VA, because I'm a vet, I have the VA as well. But so they told me, I went through and I got it this time. Maybe next time, maybe not so much. And they said, well, and initially the pharmacy said, well, you're not on Medicaid anymore, right? And I said, no, I still have Medicaid until January of 26. And 2, I can reapply for it at any time. That's when the reapproval, it needs to be approved again. Okay. So for me to apply for it, and it's once a year, I can apply for it at any time. And I plan on doing that in early January, like the first week of January, no later than that, to apply for Medicaid. And I just need X amount of income or lower. All I have is the massive funds of Social Security. So anyway, so something that's affecting a lot of people, not just me. Geek says, well, who would hang out with rich people? Yeah. Is the government shutdown?
Hi, Isaiah.
I see.
Hey.
Hi, everybody. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We can.
Oh,
You're
we
hip.
can.
Okay.
Isn't busy, is he?
I'm on break. I actually took my break to I timed my break at 3, which is what time it is here on the East Coast, to actually talk to you guys. So
Thank you. I like the beard, by the way.
Thank you. I need to get it trimmed a bit. It's kind of getting out of control. I need to get it trimmed down a little bit.
That you just reminded me that like I don't know who exactly. I think Pete Hegseth as well too, or something like that. The sec of the defense or something like that. But like, oh yeah, there was that like meeting with all the generals that fly from all around the world. That like Pete Hegseth had, which like again,
And he's like,
could
he says we're going to start killing people again.
it's like, and it's just. It was a whole presentation. First of all, also there was that hum, and anyone that's like musician knows, like, dude, the power line is right next to the audio line. Just like separate those two, and you will not have that hum. But like shows how professional these people are. That like
I don't complain about that. I don't complain about their incompetence because imagine how much worse it would be if they weren't incompetent.
Yeah, true. Yeah, exactly. But
I was gonna ask Shaban about that. Like, what do you think? Is that what he's like? We're gonna start killing people again. That's
well, first of all, Pete Hegseth is incompetent. I call him Pete Kegsbreath. Okay.
Yeah.
Is incompetent for a lot of reasons, and not just incompetent.
He's a bigot too.
For the office.
For the Department of War is a very important job. No, I'm fine. I can drive. Give me my keys.
I just want to.
But so number one, okay, he is, I believe, the only one or one of only two Secretary of Defense that did not serve
Secretary
in
of War.
Yeah, Secretary of War. And then he's trying to switch it around and say, no, well, it's defense.
What's defense?
Did not serve in the military in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so this is a guy who's a Fox talk show host. Was appointed by the Tangerine Tyrant to
President Bone Spurs.
Yeah, Captain Bones or Cadet Bone Spurs, excuse me, to head the U.S. military. Okay, and y'all know me, and you don't know I'm a vet. I'm not gung ho in regards to the military all the time, but I do have a lot of camaraderie. I have a lot of people on my friends list on Facebook and other places in real life that are vets. So we have that camaraderie going between us. Look at how fast it went away, Signalgate, okay, and all these other things. He's exemplary of all of the other incompetence in that administration. Mm-hmm. So in so far as that goes, I can't single him out and he'd say the worst because look at all the rest. They appointed Kimberly Guilfoyle to get her out of the way, ambassador to Greece. Okay, no history or experience whatsoever in being a politician, let alone being an ambassador in any way, shape, or form.
Wait. Well,
but I think the reason they got rid of her is because she was no longer dating Johnny Jr. Okay, and so they got rid of her, but gave her that position because she knew way too much about the inner workings of the Trump crime family. Mm-hmm. And so rather than have her potentially release all those things, or if she has an accident, Russian type accident, they sent her off to Greece. And have we heard anything about that since then?
I had asked, and I think John said it, but I asked if she spoke Greek, and John said she didn't. And I was just thinking,
I'm surprised she can speak English.
Well, if I was thinking, if you're going to be the ambassador to a country, you might need to learn some of the language.
Now, everyone
not if you're an American ambassador to anywhere. Are you kidding? Americans are so freaking egotistical about our language internationally.
And pampered.
Like, we're known for it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, other countries know us for how egotistical we are about our language.
Like, there's many a comedian I've seen that they do it. The English comedians that I've seen do this for English people, but they also do it for Americans too. Where when you go over somewhere and you're not understood in English, what do?
Speak louder and slower.
Louder and slower, exactly.
Well, most people think we're dumb anyway, so they'll just speak slower.
Well, most Americans can only read at a 5th grade level, so they're not wrong.
I read.
Yeah,
I read
we're
a
also
statistic-
well known for our lack of education.
I read a statistic yesterday or day before that stated that 46% of Americans in the last calendar year have not read a book or listened to an audiobook at all.
I listened to a bunch of audiobooks, but I haven't read like I don't know. Cause like I'm currently reading Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan, the novel. I don't know if that
Audiobooks count as
Okay.
reading. They
All
totally
right.
do.
Yes,
Because I listen to a bunch of
because I
those.
go off on a tear on Facebook when people start criticizing people about audiobooks.
Yeah.
Like, books are books are
It's
books.
another way
Audiobooks,
to
ebooks,
get your
paperback,
media
hardback,
in.
I don't care.
'Cause I read the mess out of an audiobook.
My brain, I've been doing this for like 30 years. At night when I go to bed, I'm listening to one audiobook while I'm reading a different ebook. The way my brain works.
I actually did that. Though it's like I was reading a book while still listening to my podcast.
So I may have some good news.
Sure.
Okay.
We need that.
Well, so I think that Artemis 2, the mission that going back to the moon, that may be happening next year.
Oh, nice.
It would be nice.
Gotta get Elon his money somehow.
That's true.
Well, it's with NASA. It's not Elon. This is space. This is NASA.
Yeah, it can't be with Elon anyway, because then they'll have those what was it, unscheduled.
Yeah, what did they call them?
Unexplained fires are a matter for the courts.
Yep. Unscheduled blank disassembly or whatever. No.
Yeah.
Explosion.
Mid-flight.
I've always loved NASA over SpaceX because I just can't love I can't love SpaceX. It's maybe it's Elon that's ruined
It's
it for
for
me.
profit. I don't think it would matter if to me, it wouldn't matter if it was Elon or any other billionaire. It's
Yeah.
the same principle to me. Like you're buying your way up into space and you're looking to exploit even more about space.
Katy Perry.
Yeah, like I grew up with the space shuttle, and people give the space shuttle a lot of shit, and it wasn't perfect, but that's what I grew up on. So I'm not
for 50 fucking years.
Yeah,
Well,
Right. And they could have continued with the space shuttle if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they could have avoided Challenger and Columbia if they actually listened to the engineers.
Mm-hmm.
So
And didn't cut corners and went with the people who lowball. Like that's the one thing that gets me. Like when
we spend all this money on NASA. We spend all
when
this money
you're
on NASA.
doing
Less than
construction
1 penny
of things
of the
like
government
missiles,
budget goes to NASA.
you should not be cutting corners.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're talking rockets.
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking basically bombs strapped to your back.
Mm-hmm.
The only corners you should cut when it comes to rockets are off of Werner von Braun while he's still alive.
Or Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, well,
I mean, same difference.
Well,
Right.
yeah, well, the difference is like Werner von Braun tried to distance himself from his Nazi path, whereas Elon,
Yeah, he
Elon
embraced.
salutes.
yeah, Elon salutes. He also tells Germans like never don't be ashamed of your history. He said that shit one time.
And
They're not,
supports
they have never
the far right politics movements in Germany. Yeah.
Yeah, ADL.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm back to working on my orange NASA jumpsuit that I'm working on, the
Sweet.
ACES suit. So I can go. So at Kennedy Space Center, they have a ride called the Shuttle Launch Experience where you can actually simulate a shuttle launch. It's like a motion.
See, this is why you need to hide me in your luggage sometime when you go there. Because I would love to go. Jory says, I believe audiobooks started to help vision impaired people and other people with disabilities and learning disabilities. Yes.
Yeah,
You see
exactly.
Books on tape. Okay, there was a company called Books on Tape.
Yeah.
Scott Brick is one of my absolute favorite narrators. He's done almost all of the Dune books and whatever, done a lot of other stuff. But trying to think. I think Dune was actually the very first, way back when, was the very first audiobook that I ever heard on tape. The actual book Dune. You know, because there's okay, I'm trying not to info dump, but there's not a book of Dune. There are 26 books in Dune, and those are what are considered the major novels, and then there's like another dozen. There are the side novels, so to speak. Okay, those are all written by, almost all of them are written by Frank Herbert's son, Brian Herbert, and then co-authored with Kevin J. Anderson, who's a science fiction writer in his own right, and so is Brian. But yeah, those, and I have the Screwtape Letters, written by C.S. Lewis, read by John Cleese. I have A Christmas Carol, read by Tim Curry. Absolutely phenomenal version.
I love Tim Curry.
And I get, and if you want, I got quite a few Google Drives. I can upload it, and you can download it if you want. But yeah, the whole thing of, you know, I remember when ebooks first were becoming popular, and people were complaining because it's not a real book. Fight me. I have a one bedroom apartment. It's basically 3 rooms. Okay, my quote unquote physical bookshelf is about 16 books. On my tablet, I have over 1,100 ebooks, and on my computer and on my phone, audiobooks, because I have a really good phone. I have almost 600 audiobooks, and most of them there's a lot of documentaries, there's a lot of physics stuff.
Oh, in their books, it's called nonfiction.
What's that?
Books are called nonfiction, not documentaries.
Anyway, they are documentaries. They're just in written form.
They're just documents.
But, and people used to criticize them for, you know, why are you reading that? Well, because I can hold, between all of the materials that I have, all the different forms, I have probably almost 2,500 books. Can you imagine all the bookshelves I'd have to have if I had those, even like in thin paperback form or whatever? Yeah. So I think it's also elitist. It is ableist, and classist.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, a lot of readers are fucking. They're so snobby.
Yeah.
About reading. You know, and it's like, how can you be snobby about fucking reading? Reading of all things.
Well, reading.
Where do you get off? Like,
well, it used to be that not that many people could read.
Reading makes you gay, so you can't do that.
So the worst one for that I've ever seen, that I don't know him personally, okay, but that I know of, is Harlan Ellison in science fiction. He was really bad. Hated the phrase sci-fi.
Pretentious douche nozzle.
Exactly.
Gabe Krahulik of Penny Arcade, he's the artist, was on stage with Harlan Ellison at one point, and they were wearing, they'd been given these little jester caps. It was at some convention, I can't remember what it was, but it was called Fool's Cap. And of course, it was named after the paper type, and so they were wearing fool's caps, like jesters. It wasn't just a visual pun sort of thing. And Ellison made fun of him for that, and Krahulik was like, well, fuck you. And so he turned to him and said, hey, congratulations for all those Star Wars books, man. Ellison was fucking furious.
Another one who unfortunately there's too many in that field, you know, white male science fiction writers, what a surprise. But
white male writers, period.
Right, but especially
like it's not just science fiction. It's a lot of different genres.
Science fiction genre, because that was considered, you know, their terrain of geekdom. You know, white male science fiction authors. Robert Heinlein was he's long since gone. Was probably, in my opinion, one of the top 5 writers, especially in science fiction, but writers, wordsmiths is the word I use, of the 20th century, and was a misogynistic, homophobic asshole.
Oh yeah.
And when you tell people that to a lot of geeks who only know him through some of his later stuff, you know, like, oh, well, he wasn't that way in Stranger in a Strange Land. I read the book more than once. I love the book. You know, he's brilliant writing and whatever, but, you know, you should check out. It is online for free. Look up Robert Heinlein's story, The Long Watch. Okay, it's a short story. Okay, and it's something books, like Benet Books or Benzo Books or whatever, something like that. They have it online free as a PDF that you can just read on your browser. Okay. It is probably, every time I read it, it makes me choke up. It is probably one of the best short stories I've ever read in that man.
Is that the one about the guy on the moon? He's fighting off the rebellion or the treason of the, who's it called it? Breaks apart the nukes.
Exactly. Okay. And then you go from that to Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
And even worse, Revolt in 2100. That's nothing but pure libertarian / Nazi.
I had a coworker that is conservative and it kind of likes Trump, honestly, or within Trump as well too. But so he said oh, Jonathan, since you're like a libertarian or something like that, you should read Robert Heinlein and something like that. And it's like I already know enough. It's like, oh, the guy who had terrible opinions on women, I should read him.
Well, no, he loved women. He thought they were equal to men if they acted like men.
There's a point at which the moon is a harsh mistress is another one of my favorites. Okay, and I do like it, but there's a point at which they are rebelling. Okay, and he's talking about a member of the family. Her name is Ludmila, and she's 11. And he talks about her getting shot and killed during the revolution. Okay, and how she took a bullet between her budding girl breasts.
Lovely little girl breasts.
Yes, you're right. Excuse me. She was 11.
She was married to him. And a bunch of other men.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a phrase that I'm not going to use the phrase, but there's a very misogynistic phrase out there. A lot of people probably know it. About when you're old enough to menstruate, you're old enough to have sex.
No, you're not.
Right, but that's also look at the Republicans who are still, in some cases, fighting whenever it comes up for someone.
Child brides.
Right, exactly. Someone will propose, a limitation of 18 or older to marry, and they get all in an uproar about it.
Well, have you noticed
that's an easy way to find the pedophiles.
Well, here you go. Here you go with that.
Jesus.
Well, do you guys also see the hypocrisy in it too? Because that's the same thing they criticize Muslim men about, but they do the same.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I guess
it is the GOP model. Okay for me, but not for thee.
Well, I guess damn, my fucking pet talk. Well, I guess also because they think their God is superior anyway, so I guess they think it makes more sense if they can do it.
And a Republican Jesus. Now, because we could get into a discussion in the Bible sometime, because Jesus is not the Jesus gentle Jesus, meek and mild that a lot of people think he is.
It's the gun-toting, NASCAR-loving Jesus.
But the Republican Jesus, which is actually not that far from the actual biblical Jesus.
Well, there are multiple Jesuses.
Okay.
True.
At least
there was a not story. What's the word I'm looking for? There was a story in I want to say it was CNN or one of the major networks anyway, where they interviewed a pastor, and he was talking about what was happening in his congregation, because they were talking about how the fact that there's a lot of these, Trump supporters who also claim to be Christian. And he had done a Sermon on the Mount, okay, which is, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit, et cetera, et cetera.
And he got criticized for it.
And he got criticized for it. And he said that a parishioner came up to him. He didn't say parishioner. What did he say?
Jesus didn't like none of that woke gay shit.
Right, came up to him and he said, where did you get all that from? God forbid they should read the Bible. But anyway, he said, from the Bible. It's Jesus' own words. He said, well, that's too woke. That doesn't go anymore. It won't work anymore. But yet they're Christians. They're Christians of a sort. They're polytheists, okay? They don't worship Jesus, even though, again, like I said, they worship Paul. Paul is the one where all the evil, basically, against gays, against lesbians, against trans people, misogyny, the racism, all that stuff, almost all of it in the New Testament comes from Paul.
Well, the thing is, he didn't really say anything about the gays. The thing that's translated as homosexuality, we don't know what that word means, because
that's in
the
the
only time that word shows up in Greek is in that one letter written by Paul.
That's also in Paul and in the Old Testament.
I mean, the Old Testament, definitely. But Paul himself never actually really talked about it.
He's not quoting Jesus. He's talking about, what Jesus would or wouldn't do or whatever, but he's not quoting Jesus.
Yeah. Paul makes it very clear that he's getting all of his stuff by praying. But yeah, he never mentioned gay stuff. And when it came to sexuality, I'm convinced that Paul was sort of sex repulsed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He
like
said that the best life is a celibate life.
Better to marry than burn, but better to be celibate than either.
Right. Jody says people complain about how...
People who complain about how books...
People who complain about how read books are the ones reading Ayn Rand. Yeah. I had heard of Ayn Rand before. This is years ago. I'd heard of Ayn Rand. I'd never read any of her stuff. So I happened to see.
I tried reading one of her books once, and I got like 2 chapters in and just went, I'm not.
I got a little farther.
I read Ayn Rand when I was 16. So I
got a little farther. I read a book called The Fountainhead. Okay. Which is ostensibly about a battle between 3 architects. Okay. But I was already
an architect and a rapist.
I was also getting this. That's a good point that I'm going to bring up. I was also getting disgusted with it prior to this, but then when it came up to the point where Howard Rourke, his name is, where she basically excused him raping for YouTube.
Oh, we're totally demonetized and
okay.
Can't comment on this and all that stuff.
And she excused him sexually assaulting a woman, the third part of this triangle. Okay, basically just because of who he was and his political stance. But I was like, no, I'm out of here. And it's the only book in my entire life that I've ever literally saw that, walked over to the trash can, threw it in the trash, having the rest of it unread, and never read anything from her again. And then, you find out that, like, for example, she was always against people getting government money and whatever. And yet
she was on government handouts. Yeah. All of her characters smoked because she smoked. That's it.
I want to hit this real quick. Where the heck is it? Because I know what time is it?
It's close to the time.
So I won't.
I gotta get back to work.
But
so, take care, Izzy.
Bye, Izzy.
Yep.
All right, Isaiah.
Did you guys hear what happened to Greta Thunberg?
Yep. Yeah, we did mention about that. She's in jail in Israel right now.
She's getting abused.
She was forced to kiss the flag of Israel as well as being abused in jail.
I think Greta Thunberg's gonna probably go down as the best white woman that's ever lived.
She's definitely an ally.
Definitely for an ally for sure.
I will give Joey, what Joey said. Okay, she's definitely an ally. I do think that. She's got problems like anybody else, but
we now have an antonym for Karen.
Karen.
We all have problems.
Karen and Greta.
Okay, so the shutdown.
Later.
Bye, guys. Love y'all.
So the biggest, what a lot of people don't realize, the biggest stumbling block in the shutdown is Obamacare. Okay, Biden expanded subsidies for Obamacare.
Yeah.
As of last year, there were currently 24 million people on Obamacare in some way, shape, or form, or the Affordable Care Act. You tell people, oh, it's the Affordable Care Act has this and this and this. And they're like, yeah, I like that. That's cool. Do you like Obamacare? No, I don't like Obamacare.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When they know a black man has touched it, suddenly they go, ew.
Yeah.
The Republicans have tried all sorts of ways to get rid of it. They haven't been able to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
The GOP wants to hike the premiums, even if they do keep it. The GOP wants to hike up the premiums for the Affordable Care Act. Okay.
Because, of course, it's in the name.
In addition to, in November/December of 26, cutting Medicare and Medicaid. Okay. Gee, that kind of sounds like death panels, maybe. Mike Johnson. I'm trying to figure out a way. Fuck him. I was going to say, try to find a little bit more polite way. No, fuck all that. Rabid asshole that he is. Quote, they have made a decision, they mean Democrats, that they would rather give taxpayer-funded benefits to illegal aliens than to keep the doors open for the American people to give vital services, veteran services, healthcare, and nutrition for women, infants, and children. They'd rather not be troops and TSA agents and Border Patrol agents. Okay, so first of all, none of these benefits that the illegal aliens are supposedly getting are getting. They don't get any.
Yeah, you have to be able to prove that you are an American to get those benefits. I know.
You don't get WIC. You don't get Social Security. You don't get Medicare. You don't get Medicaid. Period.
It would be cheaper if they could, because then they wouldn't go to the emergency room.
Right. And if they had a wider, if they had Medicare for all, okay, it would be cheaper, because then people wouldn't wait until X amount of time. I'll ignore my heart attack symptoms, for as long as I can, because I can't afford to go to emergency room. And then I finally go to emergency room, it's a lot worse. A Washington Post survey Wednesday, a couple days ago, showed that voters blamed Trump and the GOP for the shutdown to the tune of 17 points.
Wow.
That's a large margin. Okay. And I didn't think it was going to be that high. I thought it might be like, 50-50 or 45-55 or whatever, but 17 points. Okay. It also indicated that most Americans agree with the Democratic stand on ACA subsidies. 71% of Americans say that the federal subsidy should be extended. 80% of independents want the subsidies continued, along with the Democrats. Only 38% of Republicans do. Okay, now another thing. Senators and representatives still get paid.
Yeah.
During this government shutdown, some people won't get paid. Some people will be furloughed, and they won't get paid for that reason. And then, Trump's like, oh, well, while they're furloughed, we're going to get rid of a bunch of them. Okay. But senators and senators and representatives still get paid. Okay. FEMA, Mike Johnson said FEMA won't get paid, but that's actually not true. 85% of FEMA employees will still get paid.
Yeah, they're considered essential because it's an emergency thing.
Exactly. But even if they didn't get paid, even if the senators and senators and representatives, Democrats and Republicans, we'll put it that way, leaving out, the independents like Bernie or whatever. But
even
anyways,
if the rich assholes didn't get paid.
The politicians, yes, okay. Even if the politicians didn't get paid during the shutdown, even if it went 30 days, 40 days, I think the last one went like 34 days or something. You really think they're going to be hurt? You really think they're going to go apply for food stamps? You really think
most of them are millionaires.
A utility bill shut off?
They're all millionaires.
You really think they're going to have an eviction notice? No, they're not. Okay. And I'm not blaming necessarily the Democrats for that. Okay. Because I want to make this point. Okay. Democrats want to continue tax credits for health insurance. Tax credits, whatever. The GOP doesn't want to continue those tax credits, which are still ongoing right now. They want to cut them. Okay, so that's another stumbling block. Okay. But they're okay with tax cuts for corporations and the wealthy. Johnson also said women won't get WIC during the shutdown, but that's not, again, entirely true. For the first week, at least, they will get it. Okay. Just everybody who's on WIC is still going to get WIC. Then after that, depends upon, the shutdown process or whatever, but while the shutdown is still going on, it depends upon the individual states. Some states will step in and make that up. Some states won't. Okay. They still want to blame the Democrats over and over and over.
Yeah.
Border protection, cops, ICE, in-hospital medical care, and air traffic control workers still get paid. Okay, will operate as usual. Social Security and Medicare still goes out. They're still covered.
Even to the Civil War veterans.
What's that?
Even to the Civil War veterans.
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember his name, but I have to look it up. I want to say Parker, but there's a young man on YouTube who's really good at debating Trumpers and conservatives and quote unquote independents. And he asked someone once, he's well known for asking these people, for example, you're a Trump supporter, you come on, what do you like about Trump? What do you not like about Biden? What do you not? And so this guy who came on was really ranting and raving about Kamala Harris. Okay. Said, okay, so name me a policy that she has that you don't like. The guy said, what? He said, name me a policy stance that Kamala Harris has that you don't like. He said, well, I'm really not up on it. He said, so you don't even know any of the policies, but yet you somehow don't like her policies. This is what we have to deal with to some extent on both sides of the aisle. Okay.
Ignorance is only bliss for the ignorant.
Yeah.
It's hell for everybody else.
But so like I said, you still will get SNAP for now. You still will get your Social Security. You still will be covered under Medicare. The things that will definitely not be shut down during, and I'm almost done here. The things that will definitely not be shut down during the budget shutdown are the passport agency, air traffic control, the post office, military and cops, and Social Security and Medicare. And now I don't know about Medicaid, but Medicare benefits will not be shut down. And then let's see. So far, the Trump administration has been unwilling to offer substantial concessions. It believes the Democrats will bear the brunt of public's blame because it claims the party's demands shut down the government. So, and I will put, in fact, I'm going to copy this right now, where I got a lot of this from, not all, but where I got a lot of this from. This is a link where you can go to CCC, Tennessee Tuxedo, where are we? There we go. Okay. Parker, get a job. Thank you, Mr. This is where you can find out a lot of stuff about the shutdown, what's covered, what's not covered, etc. Okay. But my last point is the Republicans control the House. The Republicans control the Senate. The Republicans control the White House. So the Democrats cannot do anything to force a shutdown. The Republicans are forcing the shutdown. They are passing the shutdown, not the Democrats. Now, every single Democrat voted against the shutdown. Every single one of them. And I'm presuming that means Bernie. I don't know for sure. But I know for sure every single Democrat voted against the shutdown. Okay. It didn't matter. It still passed anyway. But yet somehow this is a Democrat's fault? No, it's not. Just flat out not. And I'm tired. I'm not a Democrat, believe me. Okay, don't get me started on Democrats. But I'm tired of the Democrats being the
scapegoat,
ongoing excuse and the scapegoat. Thank you, the scapegoat for whatever the GOP does. Because the Democrats can't do anything about it right now. They just literally don't have the power.
Unfortunately, Trump's base is going to believe everything that they are told.
Right. Yeah. Trump's base. Now, some. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. Some independents won't. Some,
No, you won't get to it in a second because we're over time.
But how many independents do you think there are, percentage-wise?
I don't know, 5% or something like that.
Who actually vote?
Yeah, that also actually vote. Not just voted in did or did not vote in the last election. I'm curious to see if I can find it now.
I'm just gonna post all the plugs in the live chat right now so that we can just just end and not go through the whole spiel as well too.
Well, mine is really simple. I changed everything. All my merchandise, all my books, my social media, every single social media I have is all on www.thehouseofconnor.com. I bought that domain name, whatever, built my site, so it's there. And I'm on also all my Facebooks, and whatever, Blue Sky, whatever, all that bullshit stuff.
Okay, so I have like 1 week to just post and as opposed to like many others, so I'll have to get the correct links as well too. And yeah, that's a good point, Joe McClure. That depends on what you mean by independence as well too. So it's like, yeah, it's how many actually truly independent voters are there in like any kind of like given an election?
If you
as
talk
well,
about
so-
people who
Well,
didn't
I
vote for
count
either Democrats
myself
or
as-
Republicans, about 150 million.
I count myself as an independent, but
Mhm.
I've noticed that the vast majority of people who call themselves independents are not independent. They're freaking Republicans.
Yupper, yupper.
It's like the shy Tory syndrome.
Libertarian. No, what you are is your uber right-wing Republican that wants to get high and watch porn.
Child porn,
And marry
usually.
a child.
And be able to legally bar someone from your business because they're black.
Yeah.
Mhm. So yeah, okay. So now I can just like remove all. Oh, I'll just like
Right,
keep.
give people money. CharityLinks.page.
Yeah, exactly. Summer and Geek on all the platforms as well too. John Brockman is part of another podcast. After the Debacles, go check it out. Don't forget to take care of yourself and practice self-care.
And then
everybody.
also, I do have a mutual
Hydrate,
page
medicate.
on my site.
Mhm.
Right now, it's got Joey and somebody. Oh, my friend Katie on there.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna have Phoenix on there and Joanna and a few others.
Okay. Stay safe, everybody.
Bye.
Pickles. How long did we go over? I wasn't even.
Only about